sales and market grade. Please help me welcome a great friend of mine, Mr. Bae.
How's everybody doing? How's Dynasty? Well, first of all, it's an honor for me to join you guys for your team event for a few minutes, spending some time with all of you. What an incredible team Dynasty is. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Mr. Bae, as well as Monica Bae. We've known each other for even before Mr. Mikota was in ACN. And for the last 10+ years I've known him, I have nothing but good things to say about him, and his leadership, work ethic, and everything about him is absolutely amazing. And you guys are very blessed to work with people like Mikota and Monica because it makes the journey so much better. How many of you guys flew from somewhere to San Jose? Maybe a lot of you flew in, okay. Isn't it, you have an option. You could decide what airplane you're going to hop on. It's your choice. But who you sit next to many times is not your choice. And depends who's sitting next to you, that 2-hour flight could either feel like 3 days. How many of you ever had experiences like that? I mean, the smell was like out of this world. There's a lot of other things that can happen on the plane if they're sitting next to you. I won't go into details, I'll leave it up to your imagination. But the 2-hour flight could feel like a 3-day journey. Or if you sit next to somebody interesting and have a good conversation, that 2 hours could feel like 30 minutes. Right. And to be working with, you choosing ACN was your choice, and you made a great choice to be part of this vehicle. But you being to work with Monica and Mikota was, it's a love thing, and it's not by your choice. But the fact that you're working with them side by side makes your journey with ACN much greater, much more fun, and with their leadership and their experience in ACN, it will help you to really achieve in the next 2 years, 3 years, what is maybe taking some other people to achieve in 4 or 5 years of time. So I have a lot of respect for them. You guys are very blessed to be working with them. Let's give Mikota and Monica a big hand for their I just want to briefly share with you 2 thoughts. I know they got a lot prepared for you at the team event. I know some of you are here for the first time at first convention. Some of you maybe been here for a long time. I've been with ACN a little over 10 years, and I'll tell you, a little over 10 years ago, when I was just a college student, working at Starbucks, making $8.50 an hour, and going to school after work, just living an average life, they put me in an above average environment like ACN, and it has helped me to create a lifestyle that's better than my dreams when I got started. And I know that, just like you heard from Mr. Aaron Bird, it's because of training events like this, environment like this, that helped me to grow. So 2 things I want to briefly share with you is, number 1, I want to encourage every single one of you this weekend to stretch your thinking and really dream big. How many of you realize that in ACN you could really achieve big things? I know right now we're in San Jose, maybe some of you build in San Diego, maybe some of you are working in Vancouver market, wherever you're from. That's great, but realize that ACN is much bigger than what you see locally. How many of you want to one day, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road, be able to have a group in a country that you haven't even been to yet? How many of you want to get paid? And for you to capitalize on that and take advantage of that, there's a couple things you got to do. Number 1, you got to think big right now. You got to think global all the time. You're not in San Jose ACN, you're not involved in San Diego ACN, you're not involved in Vancouver ACN. You're in 24 countries and growing. 5 continents now, with Latin America, Mexico putting, you're part of 5 continents, 24 countries strong, and planning to open up another 10, 20 countries in the next 5 to 7 year opportunity ACN. You're part of global ACN. Your team right now may be only in Vancouver or San Diego or wherever you're from, but you're part of ACN that's global. Why am I sharing that with you? If you could think big, big things will happen in your business, but if you don't think big, it's You know, and thinking big is so important because here's a reality. When I first got involved in industry a little over 10 years ago, I was 18 years old. I didn't speak English. I didn't have money in my pocket. I only had $320 to my name. And I only lived in America for 4 or 5 years at the time, so I didn't speak English well. I didn't have a network. I didn't have life experience. I didn't have business experience. I didn't have much. And here's the reality. When I joined ACN, who I was back then would have never made it in ACN. You know what I had to do? I had to change. I used to think negative. Any of you guys know some negative thinkers? I used to think small. Any of you guys know some small thinkers? Yeah. I had to change all that. I used to tell my mentor, man, I wish it was easier. He said, don't wish it was easier, you just get better. I used to tell my mentor, man, I wish there were no problems. Like, problems happen to my team all the time. He said, Danny, don't wish for less problems. You just got to go out there and develop more wisdom and skills. I used to tell my mentor, man, things cost too much. He said, no, things ain't too much. You just broke. See, I realized that he thought different than me, and I had to start adapting his thinking. I used to think small. I used to get so hurt if somebody would say no to me, or somebody would quit, or somebody didn't come to an event. I used to get hurt by that, but I had to change. But my mentor said, you have an option. You can think big and dream big. So you will force, if you dream big, it will make you change to match your dream. But if you're looking at your current circumstances and looking at your past, and if you make your thinking match your current circumstances and your past, you will never change. And because you would never change, your situations will never change. So I made a decision to change me to match my dream, rather than changing my great future to match who I am now and shrink my dreams. Does that make sense? So I want to encourage all of you to think big. And second thing you have to do to make sure that you participate in global opportunity is to build local and get good at right now. A lot of people say, man, I want to have a global team, and they go out there and book flights for 24 countries we operate in. Next week they go to Spain, and the following week they go to Germany, and the following week they go to Australia, and the following week they go to Korea, and the following week they go to Mexico. That's not how you have a global team. The secret of having a great global team is to always think global, but building local. When you build your local team, it will take you to the markets that you had no idea that you'll ever be able to participate in. If you build local, and if you, a lot of people ask me, they say, man, when are you opening up in the Philippines? When are you opening up China? When are you opening up Japan? I got to know this person, I know this person in Brazil, I know this person in Argentina. When are you guys opening up? My question is, have you talked to your neighbor yet? Have you talked to the person that's living with you yet? Not yet, but I know this person. I know the whole country is Japan. Why don't you talk to your mom first? If you build local, it will always take you global. And the reality is, whatever is going on right now, yes, be excited about the future, but I'm telling you, right now, will never happen again. If you got to focus on all the products and services that's happening right now. Focus on the markets you're working in right now, and build a great team, build great success, build a story for yourself within ACN right now in your local market. And become team coordinators, become regional vice presidents, become senior vice presidents, and carry that story so when your team expands throughout different markets, you could go to those markets as an RVP, you could go to those markets as a top producing TC, and really be able to catch the vision of global opportunity. Does that make sense to you? So just realize that what we've done in the last 21 years as a company, I believe so strongly that we'll be doubling and tripling all that in the next 5 to 7 years, and we really are catching ACN at an absolute perfect time. I've waited 10 years for moments like this. Debbie Davis and many other leaders have waited 20 years for an opportunity like what we have right now. You couldn't be part of ACN at a better time. You couldn't be part of ACN with better people than Dakota and Monica. Last thing I want to briefly tell you is that, I'm a horrible cook. Matter of fact, I'm not a good cook. And let me tell you why. I lived with my parents until I was 20, so my mom always cooked. And I got married, and last 9 years my wife's been cooking for me, so I don't have to cook. But here's what I'm telling you. I would have been a great cook if nobody cooked for me. The reason I'm not a good cook is because I never had to cook. What I'm talking about right now is every single one of you here could be extremely good at this if you start doing it. Every single one of you here could be absolute masters of building teams. We have a gentleman right now in Korea, in very short amount of time, in 3 years of time, have already built an organization of over 30,000 people in his team. He's doing all right. A lot of people say, how did he do that? It's very simple. From the day one, he did everything the training asked him to do. He wasn't looking for somebody to do it for him. He wasn't waiting for somebody to do it for him. He wasn't waiting to get lucky. He wasn't waiting for things to happen. Everything training asked him to do, he just did it. A lot of you, all of you are going to get incredible training throughout the weekend from all the great leaders in ACN. When you go back home, just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Don't wait around. Don't hope that somebody else will do it for you because you're not good at it. I was speaking at a Toronto convention a couple of weeks ago. One person came up to me and they said, you know, I've been in ACN for 3 months and I came to a realization that I'm not good at this and I'm not sure if ACN's for me. I said, you must be not that smart. They said, why do you say that? That's rude. I said, I'm not being rude, but let's just think about this for a minute. Think about what you said for a second. You said you've been doing ACN for 3 months. And you came to a realization that you're not very good at this. Let me ask you something. What human being that played basketball for 3 months will be great at basketball and be a professional basketball player? What person, what human being would play violin for 3 months and be a professional violinist? What human being would do ACN for 3 months and be great at ACN? You're not supposed to be good at this yet. You just started. But if you keep doing it, and if you keep doing it, and if you keep working at it, you get good before you're great, and you get great, and later on you'll be master at this, and you'll be teaching other people to do it. I ask people to do their first PBR or first launch, and they tell me all the time. They say, man, I don't know if I could do it because I don't think I'm going to do a good job. I looked straight into their eyes and said, let me tell you something. Let's make this very clear. You will not do a good job. It's your first time. You're not going to be good at this right now. Well, let me tell you something. You got to do it quite a few times of doing a bad job before you do a good job. Don't you want to get good fast? Don't you want to be great fast? Don't you want to be as great as Mr. Mikora and Monica fast? Don't you want to be a regional vice president fast? Then hurry up and do it now. Let's do more tonight of the bad ones so you can hurry up and get through the bad ones so you can get good pretty soon. Every single one of you here can make it in ACN. Get good at ACN, get great at ACN, and be the best of the best and be incredible leaders like Mikora and Monica. Just do everything you learned this weekend. Let's make it happen. Look forward to seeing all of you in Cleveland. God bless you. We'll see you guys tomorrow.